YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. This is The Last Samurai spoiler-filled movie review, and this is brought to you by Only True Dreamer. He's the reason why this review is on my channel right now, and I got to thank him in advance for it. You know, he was somebody who supports the channel in the live streams. He's a donator. He comments. He comes through, shows love. He's a member of the $500 club at the studio on Jody's Corner, and he came into the live stream on Friday, said, Jody, will you just please review my favorite movie of all time? I will give you $500. I said, bro, listen, for the simple fact that you showed support already, you've already gave me love, I'll do that shit for free. So I committed to watching it for him and reviewing it for him because it's something that he cares about. And he still dropped $400. Shit is weird, bro. Jody's Corner family is the best on YouTube. That's neither here nor there. Come to the live streams Monday, Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific. This is for you, Only True Dreamer. Thank you, man. This movie is directed by Edward Zwick. And when I knew about that, when I heard that name, I was like, wait, okay, for sure. He directed Glory. And even more importantly, he directed this movie called Legends of the Fall that has Brad Pitt in there. And Clarice. Hello, Clarice. Oh, y'all, but I'm drawing a blank on his name. Anyway, it was a really good movie. And something that Legends of the Fall, this is one of the Code's favorite movies too. And the thing about Legends of the Fall is that it has this slow burning quality of character development and epic heart-pulling emotion. Slowly builds this emotional feel within it. And that same narrative very much exists here. This is spoiler filled. So if you haven't watched The Last Samurai, it came out in 2003. I could tell you guys off the bat right now to go check that thing out. Thank you guys for watching. This is a Tom Cruise movie that takes place in the 19th century, soon after the Civil War had ended. Tom Cruise plays a demonized drunk with dealing with a lot of demons. He's dealing with PTSD. Some of the brutal, savage things that he lived through in the war still plague and haunt him, very much so. But he's a decorated war veteran. So he's traveling around the country selling guns, you know, how you could be like me, kids. Look at the gun I used. But he drinks himself drunk. He's living a real terrible life. He's a broken war hero, but he has a great reputation. People know his name, but he's did some really terrible things that give him that reputation. You know, the Native Americans were slaughtered by him and his colonel, by his colonel's orders. And he doesn't live well with those thoughts on his mind, but he's still known as a hero. Come time somebody approaches him and says, yo, you live in the drunk life. Why don't you come over here to the east side of Asia so we could start to have you train some of these soldiers? Because over there in Asia, the emperor is being manipulated and he's trying to rise up a new army to go against this tyrant that they describe him as, this samurai tyrant he's of the old ways. He sees China as or all of Asia as the land of the samurai. We need to stay true to our heritage, and he sees that this new government, it's taking a shift. You know what I'm saying? It's shifting. Japan is shifting into this different government. It's not as traditional. And in this transition, this young pussy beach made young little ugly emperor is a wuss. So he's being manipulated by his generals, by his council, and this man that Tom Cruise has brought, we could call this man forgive me with the names. I just seen the film only one time. I'm calling him Tom Cruise, and I'm calling the Asian samurai. Is it Soyamoto? Yeah, Soyamoto, I think. But for the sake of this review of butchering his name, let's call him Ra's al Ghul for sure. Batman Begins, the imposter Ra's al Ghul. It's very appropriate here because this very much is the story of Batman. I need you guys to understand that. The Last Samurai is the best Batman origin story I ever seen in my freaking life. For sure. So he's training these soldiers the American way to have them go against Ra's al Ghul and his traditional samurai army. And he goes through this rigorous amount of training them, and they finally have this clash in the woods where they're clearly not ready. Colonel says, we're going to still go. Freak what you talking about, Tom Cruise. And they get completely destroyed in the woods. You know, one of the men fires too soon. They don't listen to instruction. You have the translator. Tom Cruise giving orders. The translator has to translate it, but the men are scared. The legend of the samurai plagues their minds because even though these soldiers have guns that could reload, shoot 1 round per minute, 1 round a second, it's still not enough to get the fear out of their bodies because they're very much afraid of the legend that is the samurai across this forest that's coming to destroy them. And that's exactly what happened. The samurai came on horseback, destroyed them. Everybody retreated because they were not ready and left Tom Cruise to fend for himself with the soldiers that died. And then the legendary Ra's al Ghul samurai revealed himself and was going to deliver wait for Tom Cruise to succumb to his wounds because he had numbers. The samurai did. Tom Cruise was being literally fighting for his life with a flag, taking samurai out. And in this scene, I was so captivated by it because here is a man, Tom Cruise, who has the will of a warrior. He has that American burning blood within him where we don't give up. We don't retreat. We fight to our last dying breath. And that very same thing captivated Ra's al Ghul legend samurai, and he was stunned and shocked at why he didn't fall on his own sword. He saw the American custom where when you're defeated in Asian custom, you fall on your sword. You have your enemy behead you. But he's seeing this white man surrounded by 6 samurai, and he's fighting them off till his last breath. So much burning determination in that scene. It was so powerful. My freaking gut got tight. My skin started to crawl and my tingling everywhere. I had this amazing sensation watching it. I felt so proud of him, and I felt it has this beautiful duality of Asian culture and American culture meeting for the first time and seeing those differences to the point where the samurai, the head samurai with the red armor, was going to execute him. He downed him, and he was still going to come, but he still got him in the neck. Still managed to kill that samurai in the end. And that was really powerful. I was like, dang, this motherfucker Tom Cruise don't give up, bro. This shit is tight, bro. And then Ra's al Ghul, but the other samurais were going to finish him. Ra's al Ghul said, no, stop. There's something going on here. He saw determination. He saw something that he's not used to seeing. He chopped it up to, he said he didn't know what it was, but he knew he was there for a reason. He was his prisoner, took him back to the village. And when Tom Cruise got took back to the samurai village, the enemy's village, the place where he was taught, though they're savages, because the emperor really wanted to know, can you have fought savages with red paint on their face that shoot arrows? Yes. Tom Cruise says yes. So he said, thank you, because he's dealing with samurai savages who shoot arrows and have painting on their face, right? So we understand why Tom Cruise was there. And I love how this story was written, man. This story was written fire. The directing was freaking amazing here. So all these shots are beautiful. This score that rings in my ear while I'm watching this thing in the studio, I'm just blown away. I'm completely immersed in this world, and I'm shocked at the moment where Tom Cruise gets taken away by the samurai. I'm already so deep invested. I'm like, I like where this is going because it reminds me of the Shawshank Redemption. You have white and black. Common ground is prison. This is Western culture, Eastern culture. Common ground is war, the battlefield. And it's the respect. It's a faint respect because you could hate one another and still have that respect. It's there. So he's off in the village. He's being treated terribly. And there's becomes this slow buildup of just tension, because here's this white man who killed so many of our people and we have to cater to him. Why don't you kill him? Why don't you get rid of him? And Ra's al Ghul head, the samurai emperor, is like, just do what I say. I just want to have a conversation with him. And he was always so humble and hospitable. And it's where Tom Cruise sees that these people are not savages. He was dealing with his own drunkenness. They healed him. He was detoxing. They let him detox. He got healed from the bottle. He was begging for sake. The woman that was catering to him and welcomed him in his home was the wife of the man that he murdered. And she has to sit here and tend to this man's wounds and do it convincingly like she loves and cares for his well-being, all alone while dying on the inside, bro. She would go and tell the samurai lord, just kill me, end my life. I don't want to do this. Get him out of my house, please. To see where that goes, to where this movie ends, this movie is about 2.5 hours. It feels that way, but so much happens in this goddamn. I feel like I've known them my whole life. That's exactly what makes this movie shine so much. The characters, the emotion, the feel that you have for them. When one of the samurai die, you feel it. It hurts. And it's so freaking epic. This is an epic war movie. I have not ever seen The Last Samurai, and I love Tom Cruise. If this is just a movie that escaped me, because seeing the trailers and the promotion, I was like, Tom Cruise being a samurai, miss me. I want to see some action. I was young back then. I was like, man, it didn't interest me. I just dismissed it. I was wrong, because this film is more than just a samurai movie. This is a big epic war film. This movie is huge. The budget of this movie has to be astronomical for 2003. This is a big budget, huge, amazing, beautifully scored, directed, written movie, beautifully acted upon film. There's so much in this movie that I don't want to make this review 45 minutes. I really want people to watch this movie. I have a lot of high praise for this movie, so I do recommend, if you haven't seen this movie, to see this movie. The man who was giving him the hardest time was Jackie Chan's brother from Rush Hour 2. Forgive me. He was in Avengers Endgame. Ronan wrecked his sheet in the street. He was working for the Yakuza. He's in a lot of movies. And we see him hate him, treat him bad, to Tom Cruise showing that will and vigor and determination. A scene in the rain where has the son. He's like, give me the stick. And then he's looking at Tom Cruise like, put that sword down, fool. And then he knocks him to the ground. Tom Cruise gets back up. And he's like, oh, you back up, American, huh? Bah, 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 bah. Hits him with a 3-piece. Tom Cruise falls again. The samurai walks away because he knows he's done. Because that's the samurai way. When you have been belittled, you're done. But not the American Western way. Tom Cruise, with all that heart and determination, gets back up. The whole village is starting to be uplifted in this moment. And so the freaking minds playing the music. It's freaking epic. He gets back up for the third time. The samurai's like, what the freak? Bah, bah, beats him down. He gets back up till he knocks him out, right? And that was just another beautiful scene, man. And him learning that he killed the husband of the wife. And the wife is really beautiful, man. Asian. She's really beautiful, it's very, humble, submissive, takes care of the house, great mother, it's really nice. And she's attractive, and he's attracted to her, but he feels so much regret, and he has so much pain on his heart because he knows that he took the only thing and main thing in the world that she loves from her, and she's catering to him. He starts to learn the tongue. He's there for over a year. He starts to learn the language. He starts to converse with them. They converse back. They slowly chip away at this thick wall. When he first gets there, through the progression of the movie, it disappears. They embrace him. The children learn to love him as a father. How can I tell you a story about a movie where a man kills the father of the household? The family hates him and despises him. But at the end of the movie, they love him and he becomes the father. He even puts on the armor, and the scene where she's like, it will be my honor for you to wear this. She went from get him out of my house and take my life to come in here and wear my dead husband's armor, the one that you murdered, a good death. She put that armor on him. The direction was so beautiful. They had a little kiss, and it was like, bam. And she hugged him. Great scene. There's just so much cinematography, iconicness, and still shots, and there is so much beautiful visuals, and it's just this place in the forest, so beautiful, so green, the rain, the colors, the nature. He's writing in his journal throughout his stay there as a prisoner, and when he went from a prisoner, he became a friend, and then it became his home. And then the scene where the assassins came to attack the village while they're having the little carnival festival theater and shit. was amazing because he warned him Sayamoto, and then they all fought, and then it was a point where the fight went down. They were defending themselves, and they were in the village and they're in the hut, and it was only the Ra's al Ghul main samurai and Tom Cruise fighting back to back for one another, getting it in, and the swordplay in here is fire, bro. Swordplay in this movie is fire. The execution, the cuts of the camera, no shaky cam up in this, boy, no. The swordplay and the action in here is stellar. The looks on their faces, it gives believability. It looks like fools are really sword fighting, and you feel the tension. You see, especially on Ra's al Ghul Samurai, he's really good at that. Yeah, oh, yeah. The faces that he makes just really bring it home and sell it, because I'm in this moment and I understand that there's assassins trying to kill you, but the faces and the looks, and you can feel the tension, you can feel the importance, and you can feel the dire straits, and you can feel the danger. It oozes off of the screen. It just drew me in, and seeing them go back to back like that, and him proving himself as a samurai with the training that he's been doing by never giving up, and then using that training that he got to protect the family that were taking care of him, of the husband he murdered, with the samurai that should have killed him but saved him just to have conversations and to learn his enemy, who became his friend, from foe to friend. And it was at that moment where they became, I believe, friends in that scene, and it was legit. So there were so many scenes in this movie where I was just riveted by the action and the importance. And here's why the action is so freaking important. Because these characters are so freaking important, man. The action could have been trash, and this still would have been epic. It could have been slow little, and it still would have been awesome, because the characters are so amazing in this. I love Tom Cruise's character in this movie. I love the samurai character. I love the wife. I love the kids. I love all the characters. I hated the Jackie Chan's brother in the beginning because he treated Tom Cruise with such hostility in the beginning. But then I learned to love him. He a straight G, bro. This nigga's tight, bro. He is the Vegeta of this movie. Freak. That fool was tight, bro. So then she puts the armor on him and he comes out. And then the Vegeta samurai, a.k.a. Jackie Chan's brother, looks. He rolls up on him. Tightens that armor. He says, for sure. And you earned this shit, bro. I gotta tell you, man, that she was so powerful, man. And so many scenes in this movie, I cried 3 times, bro. The shit hit me right in my chest, bro. I cried 3 times in this movie. So they go on, they march, and they go to meet the emperor. And the emperor's like, you ain't giving up your sword. You know what I'm saying? You're under arrest, and they're going to execute him. Tom Cruise says, nah, bro, I'm not having it. He goes in there, rescues him. The son comes with the bow and arrow to get him free, and then the son gets shot, and then Tom Cruise saves him, puts him by the, he says, let me stay here. You guys got to go. And them freaking bullets is popping, and that fool comes with that arrowing them fools, and he's just taking shots, and he's like, freaking, to the very end, like a straight G. The honor coming out this shit made me want to put a samurai out. This shit makes you want to play that freaking PlayStation 4 game with the samurai. It's just like it. The armor looks the same. It looks just like the shit, bro. It's amazing. Freak, man, this shit makes me feel tingly, bro. I'm reliving this shit. I just saw this movie like an hour ago. It just ended for me about an hour ago, and I couldn't wait. I had to come up here and review this thing. There is just so much that this film gives. And you have the white man who's watching everything. The white author, the scholar, who's seeing all of this epicness from beginning to end unfold in front of him to tell some of the best stories ever. Tom Cruise even mentions the story of the 300 who went against the Greeks through the hot gates where many were few. And I like that. I like how he brought that up, because that's exactly what they used to go to war with. So here they are. They have the tank. They have the cannons. They have the guns. They have the stupid cheating rail gun. Oh, that scene. So they have this amazing war battle scene, and it's beautifully executed. The freaking gunshots and the freaking swordplay and the vigor and determination and this war scene is freaking phenomenal. It takes place and they win. They basically win that battle. But Tom Cruise lets him know there's going to be more. 2 or 3 more are going to come over that hill in a minute, and we won't survive it. And he was like, will we die? He was like, yeah, it's a good death, because he got happy about it. He got happy to know that he was going to die, the Ra's al Ghul samurai. And just this commonality between the brotherhood between these two characters, man, jeez, it's so deep and it's so beautiful, man. And it just hits you right in the heart. Just, I'm like, oh God, this shit is tight, bro. And the final scene where they go out there and charge on horseback, running at him as they're getting shot. I'm going out for my honor. And then we lose the Vegeta samurai on his horse. You know, this fool got shot in the stomach. Oh, fuck. And they're like, oh no. He's like, get the freak off me, bro. Freak it. Let's keep going. I'm like, it's tight, bro. And they're on this horse charge and they're just taking fire straight to the face. They're just taking it. They're willing to die on their sword in the American way. Like the Ra's al Ghul samurai learned from Tom Cruise Western ways that I don't have to sit here and just give up and die on my sword. I'm going to charge to the very last breath that I have, and I'm going to ride with you and try to take these fools out as much as I can before I go. So they were on some kamikaze shit on horseback. But that railgun came out. Let me tell you, when they put that railgun out, that repeating, I didn't even know that shit existed back then. God dang. It destroyed him, bro. He got shot all up. Tom Cruise got shot all up, fell off the horseback, and they shared this amazing, passionate moment where he's like, let me die on my sword. He was like, you don't have to. He said, we do it your way. You've done yours. Let me die my way. Tom Cruise kills him with the sword, gives him honor. And that shit was freaking beautiful, man. And then Tom Cruise comes before the Emperor after being captured, goes before the Emperor, reveals the sword. And in that moment, lets the Emperor know this is the sword that he would have wanted you to have. And it was so powerful to look on Tom Cruise's face, so much pain and agony. He was just to know that he was a man lost who had nothing. He didn't care about his countrymen because of what this countrymen ordered him to do. His countrymen was okay with him going and raiding 2,000 innocent natives and murdering them in cold blood. He drunk himself down a bottle. He didn't care about his life to come east, to be another murderer, to more samurai savages, only to find out that that's where he found his home. That's where he found his peace. That's where he found his love. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful, man. And you could see it in that final scene where Tom Cruise is just sitting there like, take this sword, you stupid beach-made emperor, take this freaking sword, all the shit that went down for me to bring this sword to you, take this sword. And then he does. He converts. He stands up, finally gets a backbone and lets him know what time it is. And just to see Tom Cruise just pouring out tears, knowing, because he knew how proud Ra's al Ghul Samurai would. I'm going to get his name right, trust me, because I'm going to watch this movie again and again and again. Because he knows in that moment, him taking that sword, the Emperor, how proud Ra's al Ghul Samurai would have been to know that the country's not going to sign that treaty and they're going to maintain some of their heritage. The samurai ended, but they maintained their honor and their heritage and didn't sell out to another country. And it was beautiful. Then he went back home to the family and found peace. Beautiful ending, man. It's just a beautiful story. The action in this film is fantastic. The characters in this movie are great across the board, even the bad characters, because that piece of shit douchebag colonel, bro, he was like, hurry up, kill him. Tom Cruise said hi for sure. Ha! Bitch! Hit that nigga with the sword right in the chest. That was fire. The characters were great in here. The action was great. The directing was great. The score was fantastic. The emotion was great. Everything that I like movies. Movies to me are gateways into different realities. You tell a good story. You sell it with a good score. You support it with good characters. And you give it some emotion to make me captivated into your story. I am very well leaving my world and I'm in yours. I'm in the director's world. And I was in this director's world. I was in the story of The Last Samurai 140, 50 years ago in Asia. I was in that world, and I cared. I cared about a lot of these characters. And Only True Dreamer, I understand exactly why this is your favorite movie of all time. This is a great film, and I'm thinking about Tom Cruise movies, and I think it's a shame that I haven't seen this, but I think this is Tom Cruise's greatest movie. I can't think of another movie a better film that Tom Cruise has done. There's so much. Tom Cruise has never done a movie like this. There's no movie like this in his catalog to me. There's nothing like that with this much heart and culture and epicness and bravery and just love. He was born to play this role. I'm so glad this movie came out. This is a fire movie, bro. And you recommended a freaking good one, bro. Everything about this movie is fire. I'll give this movie an A+. I'm going to be searching for this movie on 4K. The shit is fire. The League said this movie is alright. It's alright. It's alright. And that shit fire, bro. A B. People call it, it's a B movie. Huh? Miss me with that shit. There was this shit just has so much good going for it, man. I love this freaking movie, man. Thank you so very much, Only True Dreamer, for recommending this to me, bro. You have a great taste in movies. Can't wait to do that Spider-Man trilogy for you, but I'm glad that I got this up under my belt, man. I don't know how I let this thing get away from me for so long. This is a fantastic freaking movie. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Put down in the comment section what you guys think. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.